Doug, I ain't gonna make it.
Chappy!
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out Iron Eagle, and this 1986 film was directed by Sidney Furie and stars Louis Gossett Jr., Jason Jadrick, and Larry B. Scott, among others, of course. So what is the story of Iron Eagle? Well, with this one, it follows this guy as he's just graduating high school. He also lives on this military base with his family as his father is a colonel in the Air Force. And so one day his father gets shot down and captured as well. So this kid makes this plan with his friends to steal, a fighter jet and then fly to the other side of the world to rescue his father. What will happen though? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss this movie. And so what can we say about Iron Eagle? Well, you might think that this one is just like a Top Gun kind of ripoff. However, I looked it up. This one came out in January of 1986, and Top Gun came out in the summer of that year. So it actually beats Top Gun by a few months, which is quite interesting because I would think it's the other way around. I thought they would probably try to, come out on the coattails of Top Gun with this movie that is really kind of focused on that, fighter jet kind of stuff. But no, this one actually came out first. And so what can we say about this one? Well, I would say that with this one, it has all the stuff that you probably liked in Top Gun. It's got lots of fighter jets and fighter jet battles. So sometimes it is a little bit kind of cheesy with how it kind of green screens it in. Oh, and then the explosions of the jets just look like model toy explosions because of course they can't, explode a real jet. But they're pretty funny. I'm probably showing some on the screen right now. And so, yeah, that was certainly, I think the best part of this movie is all the fighter jet stuff. Also with this movie, as a bad movie connoisseur, I enjoy kind of analyzing it. And this one certainly has some stuff to analyze because, to tell you the truth, it's a bad movie. It's also kind of boring at certain times as well. Like there's long periods of time with no airplane fights or anything like that. And so thinking about it, sitting there watching it, you really kind of start asking questions as a bad movie lover. You're like, why is this 18-year-old like controlling the military? And the way that they do it also, I think I gotta tell you some spoilers for this one because I think like a conversation about it would probably be much more entertaining than the movie itself. Like these 18-year-olds right out of high school, like they go to the prom and then the next day they're stealing like an aircraft, and the way that they steal it's kind of really dumb too. Like they don't actually steal it, I guess. They do, sign it out and have all the paperwork done because all of their parents are in the military. So they just like trick those parents, to go to the bathroom or something while they're hanging around. And then they just put into their computer, oh, Joe Smith is taking, the aircraft tomorrow at this time. And then they get it. That's how they do it. And then what else? Oh, they also are like in America and the bad guys are the Middle Eastern Bloc. And so it's on the other side of the world. So then they also have to plan flight schedules and, when are we refueling? And they have to put the paperwork in for the refueling and stuff like that. It is quite a bad movie that way. Like there's just so many stupid things in the story itself that for a bad movie lover, I would say you can watch it. You can certainly analyze this type of stuff, but it's just the amount of kind of long periods of time with them just tricking their parents, right? Doing the paperwork and stuff like that. That's just like kind of boring. So you do reach for your phone at some point, but once the planes start flying around, you put it down, you really start paying attention. But just the story itself, there's a lot of kind of meta badness about it. And so it doesn't work on like a regular level, but if you are trying to, look at the meta narrative or even like the bad movie kind of critique, I would say you could watch it. Like I said, I think a conversation about this movie is probably going to be much more entertaining than, watching it itself. I actually have a bunch more kind of points there if I'm getting into spoilers, but I think that's enough spoilers for now. I gotta say with this movie, it's, from 1986, and I actually enjoy kind of looking at 1986 technology and stuff. Like he has a cassette player that he then has to plug into his car sound system, and so that he can play a cassette during his drive to work or whatever. And it's just kind of I don't know, very 1980s as well. So it's got that, Top Gun flair, but, everything is just so silly. Like this 18-year-old is controlling the military. It's something else, certainly. I wouldn't say it's something good, but it certainly is something else. And so what doesn't work with this movie? Well, I mentioned it before. This movie, the story is just so dumb that you can't take it seriously. And it makes it also kind of feel more kind of kid friendly as well. I would probably say if you know, a 15-year-old who's really into planes or something, show this to them. But other than that, like just the amount of kind of silliness of this story, it's not good. It's certainly not good for like a meta kind of critic, I would say. Watch it, you can do it, but yeah, it's not. I don't think the story is worth writing home about at all. I would also say that, with the story itself, there's long periods of just kind of boring stuff and them planning, and I don't know. There's lots of stuff that goes into it that just like doesn't even make sense as well. Like they get this colonel to help them, but this colonel like risks his career to help these 18-year-olds. Like it's kind of crazy. And then why he's helping them as well, he's like, oh, your father earned my respect, and then like he tells the story and you're like, that happened like 2 months ago, and it's not really a good story either. Like I don't know. So it's a lot of kind of just what you would expect, I would say, from a 1986 Top Gun ripoff, even though it came out before. But yeah, it's silly. Certainly a silly movie. So ultimately, would I recommend this movie? Well, in 2025, probably not. There's lots of other ripoffs out there from Top Gun that are probably more entertaining. It's all the stuff with the kids. Like I'm not a kid, and so maybe if you have a child who's really into planes and stuff, this might be a good one. But ultimately, I would say not for a general audience anymore. As for a rating, well, I gotta give it a rating of 4. Ultimately, it was pretty okay. It just hasn't, aged as well as other Top Gun or Top Gun ripoffs. So yeah, it's out there. It's for you to watch if you really want to, but you don't need to. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.